Good evening. Welcome to the Township of Lacey Caucus meeting, February 26, 2015. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act pursuant to Public Laws 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Lacey Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and the place of the meeting. We're going to begin with the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item number 1, traffic engineering proposal, Lake Barnegat Drive and Haynes Street.
Several weeks ago, Committeeman Duff had brought up some concerns, and we all know that there are valid concerns with regards to the Lake Barnegat Drive and Haynes intersection and the amount of traffic that flows through there and the cross-access left turns, from the Haynes and the left turns from Lake Barnegat to go on to Haynes. I obtained an outline of what needs to be done, and attached to that as well is the manual on uniform traffic control devices and what needs to be surveyed and studied in order to get a traffic light survey done to see if it warrants a traffic light there. And O'Donnell Stanton put in a proposal, and it's $3,900 to complete the study in order to ascertain whether or not a traffic light can be put in at that intersection. I just need authorization to proceed if we want to spend the money before I can have them start any of the work.
I make a motion.
Any comments?
I think it's a great idea. I think we should just revisit it for the budget. That's all. This budget's coming up, but that would be my comment.
I can, make sure that we do put this in the line item in the budget, and then when we introduce the budget, knowing that it's there, we can always then move forward at that time.
Well, we waited 8 years. I don't really want to wait much longer. I don't think there'd be much, every penny counts. But I think it's a matter of safety. And I think it's a minimal amount for the return on the investment based on what's happened at that intersection since they've restriped it.
Peter?
If it would be a capital improvement, maybe, I'm not against it. Maybe we should wait until it's time to talk about that under the, in the budget.
Well, why don't we do this? We have the budget meeting Wednesday night, and I think Casey's coming. Thursday night. Casey's coming in. You want to just hold it till Thursday night, Mark, and then we can, address it with Casey. I don't. It's up to you guys. I agree. We definitely have to look at it because there is.
Well, just the engineering is $3,900 to move forward and to even determine whether or not we can put the light on. So we're not approving the light right now. All we're approving is the study to determine if a light can even go. So we're going to have to talk about it during capital improvements to put the light there. But the first step before we do anything is $3,900 to do the engineering study. That's not a bondable, is it?
That's not bondable. No,
So basically, that's not capital improvements.
Was anybody? I don't know. Has Casey given us any idea what it would cost to do?
I've done, speaking with the county, it's before you even acquire acquisitions of property, because you have to acquire property from each one of the 4 corners, and then of course you're going to have to acquire property down Lake Barnegat Drive and up and down Haynes Street as well for turning lanes and widening of the roadways in those areas to have access. And then on top of it, you have the installation of the lights and the equipment, and that's going to run you $100,000 to $125,000, not counting property acquisitions that you're going to have to acquire. If it is again warranted to do that, if it falls under the guidelines on the manual on uniform traffic control devices. Now, the DOT may have to get involved in this because of the traffic light up at Route 9 in Haynes. And there is an application fee and a fee you have to pay to them as well, which starts at $2,500 for that. But again, I won't know that until we get the study back, if there's going to be any DOT involvement. And then we have to sign a Schedule C agreement with the county if the traffic light ever comes to fruition for them to maintain it, because obviously we don't have the crews or the manpower to maintain it. The county has the equipment, and we just sign a Schedule C for them to maintain it on a quarterly basis.
Can anyone here say that it's not a safety issue? And it hasn't been for, as long as I've been sitting up here. We've had people come up and say, hey, we need a light there, we need to do something about the speed. And from my personal standpoint, we waited because we were waiting to see what would happen with the river right away. Well, enough waiting already. That's my opinion. I'm in favor of going ahead with the traffic study, $3,900, and then we'll see where we stand during budget time.
Is there a
Well, I have a
second?
motion there.
Have we talked to Casey Parker in Public Works yet about this? Has there been any discussion?
Well, I mean, I've let Casey know that I was reaching out to the engineer, and this is one of the things that's on the list, because he does get involved in a lot of this. And, he understands that it's definitely a safety issue. I mean, it's, it is what it is. If the traffic light goes up, I mean, he's not against it,
Okay.
he understands definitely the traffic flow there and what goes on there.
It's not a decision for Casey to make, it's
No.
a decision for us to make. We're the governing
And the
body.
county's gonna maintain it, and it's not gonna be maintained in-house by the township, it would be maintained by the county. The control of the lights, and if there's, new bulbs that need to be put in, or if the light goes out, it will be maintained by the county. Casey would maintain any of the easements that are there that the township acquires, such as mowing the grass and so on and so forth.
Nick, Mayor, what are your opinions on this?
Did you say we have to buy the 4 pieces?
Well, we're gonna have to have easements there on the 4 corners, not counting, you're gonna widen the road on both sides of the road, on all 4 roadways, probably on Haynes all the way back to Jacqueline. You'll probably go up to the house past, across from Jacqueline. You're gonna go up, Lake Barnegat on both sides, cause you're gonna widen those approach lanes and everything. I mean, cause they're gonna want a right turn lane, they're probably gonna want left turn lanes. So you're widening the road to fit all those lanes in there.
Mayor, you've been here as long as I and heard this, what's your opinion on this?
I think it's definitely a traffic nightmare in that corner. I don't know, number one, I don't know if we'll even get the approval, even if we go through the engineering portion of it, if the DOT is involved in it, because of the close proximity of the adjoining light on Route 9 there by Walmart. And that, I know that's been something we discussed in the past with the county, when I was up there last year, we talked about that. I know we have a need for it. I'm also concerned because I've heard from a few other people that we have other corners in town that if we're gonna start putting them up, we just gotta make sure we're gonna service all of our residents. This one, Mark, without a doubt, is
It's
serious.
on the top of the list, just like Taylor Lane was, and we had the same, discussions back then about Taylor Lane. We would never get it, and until we tried, we got it.
Yeah. I mean, I know, after the last meeting, I had a half dozen people up on Bay Way, but again, we don't control Bay Way. It's, it's a state highway. This one is a little bit different than most of them. But, I mean, whatever the majority wants, I'll go either way. It doesn't matter.
Well,
So I need a
Somebody
second to
wanna-
this, and then I can do a roll call.
Mark, did you say there was a lot of accidents on that intersection?
absolutely.
No, I believe, yes, I don't have the counts because I haven't pulled the records from the police department, but yes, there's a lot of accidents at that intersection.
I'll second.
There's no doubt about it. All right, I'm gonna do a roll call. Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Giuliano?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
You got it.
All right, I will put the authorization to proceed to the engineer's office, and they'll do the survey, which is not gonna be done in a week, so bear with us.
Okay, item number 2, the defibrillator donation.
I just wanted to make the committee, the governing body, and the viewing public aware that Caffrey's Restaurant owners, being Dan Coleman and Joe DePasquale, donated 3 defibrillators to the Township of Lacey. 1 went to the Lacey Township Police Department, and then 1 went to Lacey First Aid Squad and Lenoka Harbor First Aid Squad. They're very generous to the community, and they do a lot of community efforts, and this year they wanted to do something for the township and the volunteer squads, and he had spec'd out with the chief of police to give 3 defibrillators for use for those volunteer squads and the police department. In addition to that, he has also been a great sponsor of our food bank and has just recently changed how he's sponsoring to the food bank, and he is, him and the staff and obviously all of us that partake in Caffrey's will be donating to 1 complete family a month now, which is costs, well over $200 a month. That he'll be donating to the food bank to host 1 family a month. So I just wanted to make you all aware of that.
So anybody who's in Caffrey's, make sure you thank Joey and the
sure I get there.
guys. They do a great job for us.
When you talk about public health, public safety, defibrillators are not at all inexpensive, and I didn't know this until this evening, so thank you for bringing it to us.
The first aid squads were thrilled because they had no clue that this was happening, and I called them to come pick them up the other day, so they were very happy.
A great business in our community. Very thankful for that largesse. They're not inexpensive.
I think if everyone on the committee is okay, maybe we should do a certificate of appreciation and
Absolutely.
send it down to Danny, right? Have
Yeah.
them come in here.
Yes.
Definitely.
So we can do something with that, that'd be great. Any other?
No?
Item number 3, resolution 2015-76, authorizing the convening of executive session.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the convening of executive sessions to discuss matters, contractual matters and matters of litigation.
Second?
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes. Motion to adjourn?
Move it.
All in favor? We'll be back. Good hands, everything.